Yo, what up, Street Dogs? Eric Kim. All right, so thought about what we're experiencing right now, why I'm so optimistic, and whatever. So, basic thoughts. So, first and foremost, all right, probably one of the most formative experiences that I had was going to Cuba over the winter break, and it was really interesting because I think actually what us Americans are experiencing is like kind of what Cuba goes through all the time, which means they've always kind of lived with kind of like this ration limited mentality. And so even in Cuba, this is funny, it's hard to find toilet paper. It's hard to find coffee and stuff like that. So life in Cuba, it's like quite limited in terms of resources, but people make do. Dude, come on, like in America, we still got freaking Amazon Prime. We can still get groceries delivered to us. It's like, you know, we have the internet, we got like all this entertainment. So like us Americans, we're like complaining so much and we're like, oh, whatever. But I think we're just kind of really soft. So consider when we're in Cuba, there's no internet, no Wi-Fi, no cell phones, none of that. I mean, obviously you can still go out and interact with people, which is kind of fun and stuff like that. But for the most part, they don't have the modern conveniences we got, at least in the States. And so I think one of the nicest things is knowing that we still got the internet. And we have a platform where we could share artworks, our thoughts, and so forth. Because imagine if you were like Will Smith in I Am Legend, where you're the last human on planet Earth. How sad that would be. Or let us think if you're like Chris Pratt in the film Passengers, where you wake up, you're the only human on the spaceship. How depressing that would be. And so this is my turbo thought. As long as we know that we could somehow influence or affect other humans who are currently alive or future generations of humanity, we should be ever optimistic. So for example, if it feels a kind of a dystopia vision of the future, like Children of Men, where suddenly the whole world is infertile and then no more babies are being able to be born, and you know that there's going to be no more humanity, then that's the ultimate nihilism, where we are no longer motivated to do anything because we know we can't affect or help future generations of humanity. Whereas if you know that humanity will still live on, then you could actually dedicate your life to creating ideas, thoughts, artworks, which you could pass down to future generations. So for example, even if I was Chris Pratt in the movie Passengers, you know, you're gonna be alone for 90 years, which is quite sad. And this is assuming like he didn't wake up Jennifer Lawrence, or the lady in the movie. So let's assume he didn't wake up the lady and he had to live by himself for 90 years. He could still at least think, philosophize, consume media, and create things, to write things and produce things that once he's dead and the other passengers wake up, they could actually experience and enjoy the fruits of his creative labors, like his books or his writings or his thoughts or whatever. And even for us, right, like, yo, you could still impact the world, you could still impact humans. And I mean, you can still call your friends, family, you can still publish your website, blog, video, YouTube, whatever. So we're in actually a pretty good spot. I mean, you know, obviously there's a lot of like social distancing, anti-social stuff, whatever, and some of us actually can't leave our houses or we get quarantined, whatever, but still we could make a meaningful impact in the world. And so just some random thoughts in terms of how to, let's say you're stuck at home, you literally cannot leave your house. If I were in your shoes, this is what I would do. I would buy an Oculus Rift, a gaming computer, figure out what kind of fun stuff you could do from virtual reality, because you can't physically leave, but you could do that. I'd buy some dumbbells, some kettlebells, some weights, whatever. Let's say you have a bigger house. I would actually build a powerlifting gym inside my garage or my backyard. I would use this chance to get as swole as possible. You could go on YouTube. Pamela Rafe, I think is her name, R-E-I-F. Do a bunch of workout videos, strive to get a 6-pack or an 8-pack or whatever, strive to get super duper swole. You know, build your muscles, try to become like a Greek god. And yeah, maybe even shoot more videos or vlogs yourself, start a website, learn how to code. There's so many things you could do even when you're stuck at home. But yeah, I think the physiological part is important. Take an icy cold shower to wake you up. You know, if you're feeling unmotivated, blast some music on your speakers. Get down, do a bunch of push-ups, do max rep push-ups as much as you can, do burpees, whatever it may be. Kind of treat it like you're stuck in a spaceship or in solitary confinement. I mean, we still got it better than prisoners who are stuck in solitary confinement who don't even have access to the internet. So I think that we're in kind of a good spot. So don't think about the limitations, think about the opportunities and the possibilities, and then you could thrive from this calamity.